I put that Cracker Barrel toothpick, I put it right over there on the Cracker Barrel tool rack. I already trimmed the lights and had a couple of questions. I fielded them. Hey, Parrot. Hey, Parrot ain't said nothing. You know what I mean? I don't get any movement at all. I will say it's a fine companion here in the shop. Yeah, you may see that I have the hat. I brought the hat into the shop. Normally don't do that. The reasoning, the occasion is, I'll show it to you. I like this hat. It fits very well. I think it's a 7 1/8, but I would prefer 7 1/2, so it would sit lower on my head. You know, it kind of helps to keep the wind from removing your hat from your head by a gust of wind. If it sits lower to the ear line, which this one does, I think this is 7 3/8. But I heard, and thank you before I see said hat. But I think you know, not to let the cat out of the bag. And in that fragmented verbal description type stuff I tell people, you know, I assume if I'm talking to you, me and you, okay, take for instance this parrot here. I don't know how we're going to classify this. Okay, yeah, I do too. We'll call it Fireside Chat. Look here, parrot. Okay, before we get to that, I don't think we remember that, but this is just as good and a perfect example of fragmented talking. I assumed that what we was talking about just a minute ago, at some point in time you got it. You know, once you have reached agreement, you don't need to say anything else about that. You know, pass on, no need to waste words. So I just assumed that, you know, what the answer was. In all occasions, at some point, or to the point where you know more than I know, and I would become the listenee. But I brought the hat out, just, I talked it over with the parrot. Ain't said a word. You thought, leave a comment about now. If you are still within this video, if you are still here, by all means, leave a comment, a thumbs up. Because surely, if you have stuck around long enough to find out about this light bulb, that was the whole intent of this video, was the light bulb. Somebody left me a comment that I should go for a LED or maybe a fluorescent, and this is one of them old time iridescent, I'm sure, 60 watt. 2 of them heats my shop. the heat off of it. I need it. It's free heat for me. I can put a fluorescent bulb there and save on electricity, on the wattage and all that other stuff, you know what I mean? I can save money. What's a high price bulb? Last 50 years they say. But it's that flickering light. I don't function well in fluorescent light. The 60 cycle, I tell you what it is. See if this ain't right, Parrot. 60 cycles, the fluctuation of that fluorescent. That's all I'm going to say about that. I operate at a higher frequency, and it slows me down. I just don't care for fluorescent or them LEDs. You know what I mean? I like them LEDs. I've done some work with them and all, and studied about them, you know, knowed all of that kind of stuff there. But it's the light spectrum. And I think if you look back into history, most of the inventions came out of iridescent lit laboratories. I'm just saying, I function much better with this type of light. I will admit, at this time in space and at this time in history, that it's a little too bright. I would function much better, and I do have it. I should get it out. A 15-watt bulb. I should get that out. A 15-watt bulb. Hey, Parrot. Your parrot ain't gonna say nothing. I would say that comment that you was going to leave is going to say, what were you talking about? Odds are, and I agree with you. But you know, I've used an example before. There is, and I actually stopped along the ways at some point in time and watched the video. And you should do too. You should occasionally switch away from my channel and visit some other channels. And one of them is the dude. Hey, Parrot, you seen it? It's the dude that he's got a nail gun and he's putting up sheetrock. I mean, that dude's putting up some. He's shooting some nails. Let me tell you, and he gets it done. Putting up sheetrock. You know, everyone should know about that. Just saying. And then there's the dude that's got the double shot slingshot. Them's a deadly little instrument if you know how to use it. But that double shot there's several varieties of it, and all of them are quite creative. Seems to function. Each one in its own. Some of them's a little better than the other ones. I've seen them all. Even to the point of building a prototype at some time in the past. I don't have it. I have already. Man, I got to move all this stuff. You know, occasionally reality comes into play. I've got to move all of this soon. My, just imagine that. Man. Yeah, I do have a truck for sale. It's a 1988 Toyota. It's a good old truck. It hasn't run. I've not moved it. I'll do you a little video of it. Haven't moved it in 8 years. It's been sitting exactly where it's at. And it's for sale. Give me a call. Say good night, Parrot. Hey.